We are Mountain View, and you're listening to the West Ada Podcast.
Having those teachers at West Ada has really helped me, and having those teachers in any school district is really important for students' mental health or.
Welcome to the West Ada Podcast, Intern Takeover edition. My name is Ryan. I'm a recent Eagle High School graduate.
My name is Ashlyn, and I'm a recent Owyhee graduate, and we're both communications interns.
On today's episode of the podcast, we wanted to highlight some of the amazing West Ada summer interns.
Yeah, so let's get started.
Welcome to the West Ada Podcast. We have Emma, one of our nutrition interns, and Haley, one of our IT interns. Do you want to start by introducing yourself, Emma?
Sure. Obviously, my name's Emma. I am a nutrition intern. I'm graduating this upcoming school year, and I go to Mountain View High School.
Awesome. And then Haley?
I'm Haley. I am interning for the IT department, and I just graduated this May from Meridian High School, and I will be headed up to the University of Idaho for college.
Awesome. How did both of you find out about West Ada interning opportunities?
I found out by my culinary teacher. She's so epic and awesome. She told me about it, and I signed up the first day I got that email. So.
Awesome.
My mom actually got a job prior to the job she currently has in the IT department, and so she kind of asked around, and yeah, here I am.
That's awesome. Before your first day here at West Ada, what were you kind of going into it expecting? Like, what were your expectations?
Well, honestly, I thought it would be a little easier. Not gonna lie. And I was a little scared working with like adults and stuff, the lunch ladies, but it turned out to be a really awesome experience. So.
It was new. So I didn't really have many expectations. I was just told that we were working on a lot of different projects with the student files. So I didn't know what that entailed or anything. So, yeah.
I can't speak for Ashlyn, but I can speak for myself here. I know going into my first day, I was like, okay, every single video project I've kind of worked on up to this point, there hasn't been too much like feedback, I guess I could say. I'll work on a project and I'll, show it to a teacher or whoever I'm working on and be like, oh, that's perfect. Let's post it. Nothing really after that. But here I would finish a project. I'd be like, how does this look? And instead of just saying, oh, that's good to go, I would actually get like real feedback on like what I need to improve on, what needs to change, some ideas. I know Ashlyn can maybe speak a little bit on how that process has been.
Yeah, for my projects too, a lot, like I normally don't get a lot of feedback in like other design projects I've done before, so it's definitely been like a cool experience getting actual feedback, and like it does take a lot of work to like do those redos and like fix my mistakes, but like I do appreciate the feedback, and it's been like a cool experience to get that.
It's definitely like helped me, I feel like, improve.
Yeah, I've definitely grown as like a designer and stuff too, which is great. But yeah, so you guys both have very different internships, so we kind of just like want to walk you guys through like kind of what your typical day looks like. So Emma, we'll start with you. Just kind of like, what does a normal day look like for you in nutrition?
Well, I head right into the school, River Valley Elementary, right? And I prep like corn dogs and burgers and stuff, or I like look through pears, make sure they're not bad, or cut broccoli and make sure they're into like perfect like serving sizes or whatever. And so I just prep for the next day, and I have to get the numbers exactly right or else a kid will go without a lunch. So
yeah, that's awesome. What's something students probably don't know about like when school meal, like what comes to prepping school meals together?
Well, it's a lot more complicated than I thought, because I usually get hot lunch at school, and I didn't realize like how hard they worked having to order the perfect amount of corn dogs or fruit, vegetables and stuff, and they use a lot of math. That's what I gotta say.
Yeah.
All right, Haley, do you want to walk us through kind of a day in your intern life?
Yeah. So every day is pretty different. Depending on if we're working on GT files, we're working on active students, inactive students, if we're actually going out to the school buildings to take care of their files that are in like the physical building, and it really just depends. So like this past week we were at Eagle High School, going through and getting all those files scanned and uploaded into our new database, to make everything digital instead of physical in school buildings. So it really just depends on what a day will look like.
Awesome. And then for both of you, like, what's something that you've learned about your department that you hadn't like previously known?
Well, I learned that they have to lift so much. It is extremely heavy. Definitely got some muscle out of that. And I've definitely learned like work smarter, not harder. So, yeah.
I think one thing that I learned was the amount of students that have actually, just in general, been in West Ada, whether they were in West Ada for like a week or one school year and then they moved, or it really just depends on what that situation was. But we go through a lot of files that are like previous, we call them inactive, so they moved out of the district or whatever, and there's a lot of those. So it's, yeah, we have a lot of kids in West Ada, but outside of that, just like the inactive students, there's a lot. So, yeah.
What do you think the hardest like thing you've had to overcome this summer? I know you kind of spoke on like, lifting stuff is kind of hard, but is there any like, I guess, logistical, like what's the hardest thing you've had to overcome this summer so far?
Well, having some kids are kind of like a little like rougher than others, and I definitely learned how to have patience with a lot of younger kids. So,
one thing that I think that I've kind of overcame was that like the understanding. So I'm not very like a techie kind of person. So understanding like technology and like the database we were using, it came very difficult to me. And so I've had to like learn that and kind of overcome like all these different situations when, a file doesn't get scanned right, then I have to like go rescan it. And so kind of overcoming the technology kind of part of that.
And how has that like experience been? Have you like had a lot of help from like your fellow IT department like workers, I guess?
Yeah, they're very helpful, as well as I guess you'd say kind of like our boss.
Sure.
And so she's been very helpful too when like we have problems and we're like, so we can't really do this because this isn't working or whatever the situation is. She's very helpful, and my other like the teammates are very helpful too. So
That's awesome.
Yeah. So the next question for both of you is just kind of what's been the most challenging part of your internship?
probably like all of the numbers and trying to stay consistent because they change every day to fit with the count of the kids' needs and stuff. And yeah, I just think it's pretty hard trying to get all of the food into one bag and then having to count like 50 plus times to other bags and trying to, because we have to do different numbers for each of the destinations we do, because for my site we prepare food for other destinations too, so we have to get the number right.
Yeah.
Kind of like what I just said, like just kind of overcoming all the technology stuff. That was probably the hardest thing. So yeah.
So my next question kind of does this internship kind of influence what you want to do with like your future? Like I know you're still in high school, Emma. So you have a little bit more time to decide like what you want to do in your future. Does this kind of sound like something that you'd want to potentially pursue a career in? Yeah,
I'm hoping to go to culinary school after high school and get a degree in baking and pastry. So it does really fit into what I want to do after high school. Yeah, it's a great like resume builder. Mm-hmm. What about you, Haley?
Not necessarily. I want to study agricultural education. So I guess kind of like working on computers, because that's what you see in a classroom with students. And so, but the whole like IT stuff, not necessarily on what I would like to go into. So,
for sure.
But it's definitely like skills that I could use in life, not just like
Yeah.
in a career, just in life in general. So
Yeah, but building off of that, like what kind of skills have you like learned from this internship that you think guys could carry in like your future careers?
definitely like the technology on how to work, a lot of that, and a lot of problem solving for when something does not go right or we accidentally entered a file wrong. So we have to like figure out, okay, so we need to like, we have to go in, find the student ID number, we have to send it to our boss, and then she has to like delete the file, and then we have to go find the physical file, rescan it.
Oh, wow.
So
Yeah.
it's a big kind of, there's a lot of problem solving. And so I feel like that is something that like, is something that you can carry anywhere in life. So
I learned a lot about like bonding with your like fellow coworkers, because I don't usually like go out of my way to like introduce myself or say hi. So I was a little bit stressed out to meet these lunch ladies and stuff because they've been doing this for years. And so I've definitely learned how to talk to adults, right? And make really great connections with people. And I think that's really useful for my career because sometimes you ask for feedback on what you make, or, you ask for help. So.
All right, kind of like a side question. What's your favorite kind of food to prep or make, I guess?
Probably like the corn dogs.
Corn dogs?
Yeah, I mean, you just put parchment paper on the tray, and then I do like 30 corn dogs per tray. Just make sure to count it all right. It's pretty easy to prep it, but I think the best thing about prepping the food is like all those kids are getting their meals and seeing the happy faces that they have when they're
Yeah, for sure.
when they're able to get like a lunch or a breakfast.
I guess what's your most favorite part of your internship so far?
I feel like probably traveling to all the schools, and getting to like just like it's summertime, so just hanging out like with the registrar and the principal, and trying to get this job done. It's a pretty big task that West Data has been really looking forward to getting done. It's a 5-year rollout process, so it's gonna be a while, and we're just the start of it. And it's great to just go out and be able to like help out the schools, to take the load off of them, for us to just, we're just gonna, hey, we're here to scan your files, like get them done about a week, and then we move to the next school. So I feel like just going to all the different schools and hanging out and getting to know people.
Awesome.
That's awesome. If another student was like interested in your internship or like career path, what advice would you guys have for them?
I guess the advice I'd give them is work smarter, not harder. I have a very difficult time with that because I like to do things my way that are a little bit more difficult and time consuming. And when you're on a time crunch or something, you need to work smarter. So that's the advice I'd give them.
I feel like the advice I'd give them for like if they wanted to go like into this internship would be definitely come in open-minded, because you never know we never know what problem we're going to run into that day or whatever. And so just being very open-minded and like welcome to like change. And yeah.
I guess kind of looking forward now, Emma, you have one more year of high school left before you have to make some big decisions for your future. Haley, you're kind of already at that point. What does the future look like for you?
The future looks like I am headed up to the University of Idaho to study agricultural education in hopes of becoming an agricultural educator, as well as an FFA advisor. So I went through the CTE program, completed 3 different pathways here in West Ada, was involved in FFA as well. And so the whole CTE FFA holds a big spot in my heart. And so being able to kind of give back to what the teachers and my FFA advisors like made such an impact on me, I want to be able to do that for future generations. So.
And if I can ask, what kind of inspired your, I guess, love for agriculture?
Well, my grandpa actually like grew up like farming and being in agriculture and stuff, and so once like it came to high school, and like my uncle, he showed hogs, and so when it came to high school, like, and I realized that our school had an FFA chapter, I was like, yes. And then so I got involved with that, and then along with FFA, like I raised hogs in FFA, but I was also involved in the plant science pathway, animal science pathway, and the welding pathway, which those are the 3 that I completed. And so just all of that just kind of combined together is just makes up who I am. So, yeah.
Well, obviously, going into my senior year, I'm going to take advanced culinary to complete that like CTE capstone or whatever. And then I think just after high school, I'm going to be looking at different just culinary schools, because there are a lot all over the world. I think there's one in Hawaii, New Mexico, Colorado. There's just like a bunch. And so I just have to figure out whether or not I want to stay close to family or I want to be like more independent.
That's awesome. And what kind of inspired your love for culinary?
I think my junior year was really when I like figured out my love for like baking and stuff. I just had kind of like this talent, and it was really like my culinary teacher always just like pushing me to keep going forward in my skills and stuff, and just like always believing me. So I just have really appreciated her for that.
That's awesome.
Another side question for you. What's like your favorite thing to bake?
I really like making German chocolate cake from scratch.
That sounds really good.
Really good.
How do you think your time in West Ada has influenced your opportunities and your abilities to like kind of get to a place in your future where you can like get to these goals?
Well,
that makes sense.
So my first semester of freshman year, I was actually at a different high school. I went to Gen Prep Meridian. Mm-hmm. And so it was like a huge change when I switched from like more of a private school to like one of the biggest schools in Idaho. And it was scary at first, but I realized that like the teachers that go there or that teach who have taught me at Mountain View have been really great people and who have like pushed me and actually like believed in me rather than other like middle schools and the other high school I went. And especially my culinary teacher, having those teachers at West Ada has really helped me, and having those teachers in any school district is really important for students, mental health or,
Yeah. Kind of same question, Haley. How has being in West Ada kind of helped push you towards these like great opportunities that you're going to be able to like, the CTE pathway, even a lot of school districts don't have that opportunity for their students. So how's that kind of impacted you?
It's amazing that West Ada offers so many opportunities for so many students. And it is no matter what you want to go into, medical field, culinary, there's law enforcement, you name it, there's probably a class and a pathway for it. And that's just amazing because it's just preparing students for the industry, and it gets them prepared, and it's definitely prepared me, not only my CTE classes, but being an FFA, and seeing my like FFA advisors on how they run stuff and like teaching and stuff. That was my biggest influence on like why I wanted to do what I want to do. And yeah, it's amazing that West Ada offers so many CTE pathways for students.
For sure. All right, Haley, Emma, thank you so much for sitting down with us today. We loved having you here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So thank you again to Em and Haley for sharing a bit about their internship experience with us. We both also loved our internships, and if you want to learn more about internships, you can go to westada.org or ask your CTE advisors and teachers about it.
We loved hosting this episode of the West Ada podcast. If you'd like to learn more or watch previous episodes, you can go to westada.org/podcast. Thanks for tuning in.